there is problem in Aso Rock. Shetima and Tinubu are engaged in a serious fight over the release of Nnamdi Kanu. The North seems to be against the release of Nnamdi Kanu, while Tinubu is trying to negotiate Nnamdi Kanu's release ahead of 2027. A lot of people are saying that this is going to boil down to a point that Nigeria might not be able to know what to do until Nnamdi Kanu decides the fate of Nigeria. Do you see this thing being realistic in all honesty?
You see what happened? This is just filthy, very lousy excuses coming out, coming from the axis of the presidency. To me, is lousy and filthy. Why? The Chief Security Officer of Federal Republic of Nigeria is Bola Ahmed Tinubu, and there was never a time in the past where from the north wanted to take a decision. He consulted Yemi Ochibanjo. It's a lie. He took decisions on his own as Commander-in-Chief of the Armed Forces of Federal Republic of Nigeria. Forget when a carpenter is working and all of a sudden he made a mistake. He miscalculated nailing. He just stands up coming out with filthy excuses. It means that he has failed in his duty. Tinubu or the presidency or from any angle of the organs of the government telling the whole world, the Igbos, that it is Shetima that is stopping Tinubu from releasing Nnamdi Kanu, that Shetima and Tinubu are clashing over Nnamdi Kanu. Oga, it is a lie. Oga, these are many excuses from Nigerian failed states.
So is that the reason why there was delay in release of Nnamdi Kanu?
Oga, delay in the release of Nnamdi Kanu is the fear of the unknown. Cowards die many times before their actual death. There is this uncertainty that has, embraced that young man's, at least, release for how many years now? Buhari would have let him go. Something went wrong with Malami. Malami disturbing Buhari. From Malami now, it's gotten to Ariwola. Ariwola has gone out, and we have Eku. Are you listening to me? See, let me tell you, they know what they are doing. Nnamdi Kanu is the only savior that is currently given to the Igbos by God, the Most High God, to do what? To release them. So all this clashes, Tinubu clashes with Shetima, it is a lie. Shetima kicked Tinubu on the scrotum in the office, it is a lie. Shetima does not kick. Tinubu and Shetima are not clashing. They are not two vehicles, let alone if there are two bicycles. Clashes for what? Say they are primary school students. Why should they clash over what? An argument, bringing somebody out, someone that is innocent. Something is there. It is because of the oil along the Biafran coastline. It is because of the fact that the ancestors from where Shetima has come from, the land over there is dry. Nothing is there, no natural resources. Shetima knows the danger of Biafra liberation. Shetima knows how the entire North is going to be subjected to what? Abject poverty if Biafra emancipates. See, what is behind Nnamdi Kanu's release? The whole southeastern governors can tell you better. We don't need to just be scratching, working hard to unravel the wisdom, the reason behind Nnamdi Kanu's continuous incarceration. It works more than you think. The meaning is that Nigerian nation, especially the Yoruba, the Hausas, they are afraid. Because that oil-rich region belongs to us. It is not negotiable. Let us begin to be telling ourselves the truth. We will come out with the truth. It will be that this oil is in Yoruba land. Do you think that Tinubu will acquire these hundreds of oil wells? The West won't allow him. Do you think that Nzeribe will come here in this land and acquire oil wells to the tune of 10 or 20? Yoruba will not allow him. Could be that this oil-rich region is in the north. Hausas will stay with you till today. Ojo Zokalo will go there. If Emeka will go there and acquire 200 oil wells, the Hausas will not allow him. Okay, let us begin to tell ourselves the truth. It is oil war. Nigeria Biafran civil war that was fought 58, 57, 56, 55, 54 years ago. was an oil war. It was crude oil war because Igbo man did not offend anybody. All their eyes was towards the oil exploration in the Niger Delta area region, which of course belonged to Biafrans. And today you see what it has brought to us. Endless animosities. Countless what? Maiming, killings, prosecution of the Igbos illegally. See, let me tell you, judicial killings going on in the southeast it is because of that. So let me tell you, they are killing. They want to eliminate that tribe that is the owner of that oil. Orchestrated, Britain supported Nigerian military clique that killed over 4 million Igbos in 1960s. Oga, I can go to court with it. Nothing can stay, will, or ever minimize the injustice meted on the Igbo peoples by the British colonial policies, British colonial prime minister, who was in power then, supporting the Nigerian military clique led by Gowon. And it began to look like genocide. Certainly, it was the greatest, highest bloodbath in African history. Go and do your research. Britain is behind what is going on. The Hausas don't want to let go, and the Yorubas are busy currently cashing out. Oga, go and ask Biamila what is holding in Nnamdi Kanu still down there. He will give you not only the right answer. It's gonna supply the solution to you.
The British citizen has been linked, and you want to know one of the things the protesters listed was the releasing of Nnamdi Kanu and change of certain government policies. I think one of those things, Britain has been linked to an agitation for the release of Nnamdi Kanu because he is very close to the NLC president. You know, he has been declared wanted. The protesters who were asking for a certain privilege has also been arrested. What is Nigeria turning to? Emperor, tyranny, dictatorship. Tinubu seems to be in another mode.
Let me tell you now, we are having an emperor running an authoritative government. Authoritative government was started during the time when Israelites asked God to give them king. They don't want to hear from the judges, the people, the prophets that are bringing administration of God to the people. And God actually told them the danger of giving them a king. And Saul was made a king. And from then, institution of monarchy spread across the world. Today, Tinubu is one of the emperors of our time. In Nigeria here, we are seeing a dictator pretending to be a democrat. Never in history again, could we have such administration that will be behaving like authoritative autocracy, thereby deceiving his people into believing on what? Democracy. This is not democracy. We are having an authoritative government, a tyrant, a dictator called Bola Ahmed Tinubu. Sit, listen, and listen good. What is going on now is this. We must make sure that federal government of Nigeria is not giving a breath space. If you allow a small drop of water, it will spread into becoming a mighty ocean. So this time around, after arrest of Michael Lenin in Abuja, they declared a Britain wanted, that he wanted to overthrow the administration of Tinubu. You can see that kind of shamelessness, shamefulness, shame coming from that angle of the executive department, because Tinubu surrounded himself with all manners of his kinsmen.
That's what the North
single-handedly, someone is doing something wrong, getting it wrong there. His name is Biamila. Dele Alake. Oga killings going all over the places. Military decree coming out from the House of Legislative, both upper and lower one, has made Tinubu look more or less like a military head of state. Are you listening to me? If you talk, you will be apprehended. They will send you to the gallows. That is where it's leading to. Remember that the people that were caught during the latest end bad government, hungry, bad governance protests are now subjected to what? To the threat of being executed. Death sentence. That is the angle Tinubu is going right now. That will spell to you that the man has no heart, no conscience, no human feeling. We are not even hearing from him completely. It is the boys, the cabal surrounding him that are answering to us, which is why all those letters written to him by the prophets, Onoha, of Judaist church, could not get to him. But Abia Mila will block it. But I'm telling you that Nnamdi Kanu is the only leader we have. An anointed prophet of our time. And God has been signing warning to this current administration. It is going to spell into doom, serious demise among the political leaders that are playing their roles to bring Nnamdi Kanu down, leaving him suffering there. God has been signing his warnings. And that warning is going to rewrite Igbo narrative again. I don't care about people saying or writing or Yoruba journalists writing rubbish, accusing the Igbos of causing shame and troubles across Nigerian soil, all over Europe and America. Such journalist is hiding his face because he knows that if his profiles are made known to us, he will have no hiding place on earth. I'm telling you, we will surely treat his fuck up. See, show yourself whom you are. You are not being profileless, faceless. Nobody knows about you now. And you are talking. What do you call yourself? A coward. Cowards die many times before their death. You come out, let us just debate. You don't hide. Nobody's going to hurt you. Come out and display yourself, the reason why you are saying that Igbos are constituting trouble all over the world for Nigerians. Nigerian tribes like Yoruba, Nigerian tribes like Fulani, they are the one constituting trouble in Nigeria. Where he has finished killing the Nigerians, Yorubas, Igbos, Hausas, Tinubu, your brother, has come. He has started his own. You have no infantry, no strength or dynamism to tackle Tinubu critically. Now you are tackling Igbo man. I don't think you have the gut, what it takes to be a journalist. Come and tell the whole world the truth in the faces of this kind of killing administration of Bola Ahmed Tinubu. You are hiding there and still you call yourself man. Coward. Cowardice.
Why is it that they are afraid and they pretend as if they are not afraid? This is an open thing, it's an open world, a global world. You know, if you feel like any other person, come out and tell the whole world where you are. And we have seen that the Yorubas are not friends with Igbos.
They are not. We are managing just to be. We are being diplomatic to at least to embrace them still. Some persons are allaying fear that it's because of our properties in the southwest. No. Okay, go to Igbo land and see properties. Okay, Igbo man that made billions of dollars in America must go home and erect magnificent buildings, edifies, structures in Igbo land. We don't have properties here. Okay, it is not property that makes Igbo man to be in peace with the Hausas. After the killings of 1966, 67, 68, 69, 70s, Igbo man is still there, battling with the Hausa brothers. It is not because of properties. It is in our vein. We have that love. We are Republicans. We are better than any tribe in Nigeria. Tribes in Nigeria that have actually shown their anger, their animosities during the war that brought Igbos down for 36 months. But today, we've come up of age, growing into what? Commercial giantism. Yes, that's what we are. Giantism, commercially and industrially.
Yes,
that's what we are.
Academically too.
Academically, we are there all over the world. Some persons are claiming to have gotten the highest number of professors. It's a lie. The highest number of professors are traced down to Imo State. One, the first graduate Nigeria has ever produced is Abaniko. It's on 10 naira. Most of the textbooks in the universities used by the universities in the southeastern Nigeria states of Imo State, Abia State, are written by the indigenous people of those two states. What kind of education somebody is boasting of again in Nigeria outside Igbo nationality? The first VC in Nigeria, in University of Nigeria, Ibadan, is Kenneth Kadike. What are you telling me again that you are academic giant? The intellectual giant we have in Africa are the Igbos. Go to the United States of America and conduct your research. Each and every examination that comes out in that country, the blacks that take first are from Igbo ancestry.
Look at Chidinma of South Africa. Imagine.
Chidinma, the winner of beauty contest there. Yeah, I read it. Yeah. Chidinma, Chidinma Adet China. He put T there, make it not sound like, you know, but Chidema is absolutely an Igbo name. So what you are trying to say is that people are pretending that they went to school, but they don't.